Right. Wonderful. So we've all come together, and it's we usually give it 5 minutes for everyone to reach their computers and do their bits and pieces. And it's a Saturday afternoon, though you see, now I really joined you because here it's a Sunday morning. So we've come together, we're trying to remember some basic things of our devotional life. And I have to say, this last week for us and for kind of everything that's been taking place, questions that are coming, things we read and everything, has been very much the importance of devotees week. Really, everything we read just comes to this matter of how the devotees are so indispensable in our life, that without the devotees, basically we are practically hopeless. So Krishna Mahaprabhu has given us a Zoom so we can come together happily. Is that somebody? Just give me 1 second. I think someone's knocking. One moment. The door is open. Sometimes the animals come. We have, like Australia, we've got snakes and lizards and things, long, very long, wider than my screen, long things. They go, oh, look like little dragons. But they do come, animals do come around, which is their home. All right, first of all, now's high time, we get started. So with my obeisances to each other, Vanchakalpa, Tarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya, Evacha, Patitanam, Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. And we are, the last hug I gave a Vaishnava in this Corona virus was Rupanuga Prabhu, who's there, says raise phone, was when we were in Jagannath Puri, and he's returning to Australia, wanting to stay in Puri. And that's when we all suddenly were becoming aware there's something called a coronavirus. But that was the last hug I gave a devotee. But just a few days ago, before our last meeting maybe, one of our devotees from here was going back to Siberia and didn't know quite what the journey or the prospect was going to be like. And he was like very sad to be leaving the devotees. And I gave him also a big hug, because this whole virus thing, we want to get virus from the devotees. Anyway,
I'm jealous.
Well, you can't be the last one forever. Somebody has to be more last than last. All right, but a week where everything that we've come across is pointing to the devotees, that inseparable from devotees. So I also just like to share one question that came up, was in one of our sweet communities. The devotees were saying, but you know, when sannyasis come, when senior devotees come, then everybody's coming, they're keen to come. But I try to encourage my friends to come when it's like ourselves and the evening program is happening. And they're not enthusiastic to come. They say, oh, we've heard from them like this. But really, the mentality of appreciating all the devotees has to be with us. And the thing is, any devotee, it doesn't matter how new, how old, how apparently good or bad or whatever else, with every devotee, you can talk about Krishna, you can talk about Guru, Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can talk about association from times when we've been with devotees. If you try to do these basic things with non-devotees, you know, however good the people are, then there's no kind of like appreciation or response. It's like it's not a subject matter that many people want. They don't want to talk about God, or they've got some, you know, other idea of God, what to speak of Guru, etc. And, you know, Mahaprabhu is, I suppose, the next step to understand, oh, Mahaprabhu is God himself, enveloped in the mood of Radharani, coming to us, enveloped, even just simply to say, in the mood of a devotee, to show what is devotional service. So these subject matters, we may, we're not talking like these high things. We have our feet on the ground, but we do relish the Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavad Gita and the talks of our masters, things we heard in a video this morning that we saw, etc., etc. We relish all these things with all devotees. And so devotional service. Oh, we have a a noisy car joining us from Salt Lake City. Hare Krishna. Pranam, pranam. Oh, I was wondering, Haridas Prabhu behind the beard. I was wondering who is behind the beard and the cap there.
And a car full of Gopals.
And a car full of Gopals, right? Gopal 1, Gopal 2, Gopal 3, Gopal 4, etc. All right. The world goes on. So we were just mentioning about the devotees that you see, however young, the car full of Gopals, however old, we can talk with devotees about Krishna and these things. So anyway, to appreciate devotees is like really a very major thing in our lives. So I know there was a request for going through Samsara Ananda Sundari mentioned about going through Samsara Davanala Lila Loka. But last time we went through the song of Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya, and maybe it's a bit much to go through a song every week. So I thought maybe, and the Samsara Davanala Lila Loka, Shri Gur Vashtakam, it is 8 verses. And so we want to keep our classes, we try to spread out all the various aspects. And about the songs, I also agree, Samsara Davanala Lila Loka, and another song that I thought, actually there are many songs which we can go through, is a fact. And the basic theme, just on this point of devotees, is that Guru is the specific devotee who is giving us our connection to the Lord. And so, as the third offense to the holy name, which now you all know fluently, the third offense of the holy name is to disrespect Guru, or to see anything mundane in the Guru, to disrespect the Guru's instruction, because it's Krishna's arrangement. He's working through that personality in order to give us the connection to the higher world. So the Gurvastakam prayer, and when the song that we went through last week, Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya, and other songs in the songbook, they are really emphasizing that our fortune is there at the lotus feet of Guru Vaishnava. So appreciating the Vaishnavas and especially appreciating the Guru, the spiritual master. So welcome also to Brajamohini Didi, Purushottam Prabhu, John T. For those of you who don't know, I think you do know now, John T. now becoming world famous because we're happy to see him pop up on the screen here and there. John T. from New Zealand. And John T., did Mohanananda talk with you this week or not?
Yeah, he did, Maharaj. Thank you.
Okay, very good. He's one of your big supporters. So all encouragement from him and all encouragement from us all. All right, so on the theme of the Vaishnavas, we all know the 10 offenses. No, yes, we all know the 10 offenses of the holy name. I was going to say something else, but while we're here, that came out of my mouth for a reason. Okay, everyone put up your hand if you don't know the 10 offenses to the holy name. Aha. If you don't know the 10 offenses, put up your hand. Oh, John T. Okay, anybody else? Everyone knows. All right. Huh?
I have to read them.
You have to read them. Okay, but we do know the 10 offenses. Okay, so while we're on the 10 offenses of the holy name, we will revise them because it's good to revise them with our key words. Okay, keywords, 10 offenses to the holy name. You all, only two of you kind of little confess, maybe you don't know them. The rest of you, now I can ask anybody, right? Correct, Bharachandra Prabhu? I see the smile on your face.
No, I'll admit I need them written in front of me to.
Need them written, okay. All right, keywords for the 10 offenses. Guess what? The first one is Vaishnava. To make offense to the Vaishnava, the very first of the 10 offenses. Vaishnava, Vishnu, BB. Depending if you're Shutashrava, Vaishnava, Maharaj, you can have the BB. They are interchangeable. Okay, Vaishnava, Vishnu is number 2. To make offense to the Supreme Lord, to consider his name, form, qualities different from him, etc. So, or to think the Devas are on an equivalent level with him. So this is Vishnu is the second one. Vaishnava, we've been talking so much about making offense to Vaishnava. Vishnu, make offense to Vishnu. Guru, the third one. The Guru, to, as we just mentioned, make offense to Guru. Shastra, Shastra comes from Guru. So it's not so difficult to get the order in which they're given to us. And so Shastra, scripture, comes from the Guru section. So we can say that's the written word of the Gurus, of the teachers. And revealed written word often. We read Chaitanya Charitamrita, we read Chaitanya Bhagavat, and we see everywhere there saying that all this is coming from the Lord through my pen, you know, this way. Krishnadas Kaviraj saying, I'm so aged, I don't have any capacity. But Madana Mohan is writing through my hand. So the scripture. So Vaishnava, Vishnu, Guru, Shastra. Already you've learned. Now, exaggeration and then mundane or imaginary. So exaggeration is number 6. No, it's not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is number 5 is to think that the glories of the name that we read in many places are exaggeration. The next one is imaginary or mundane. To think that the name is mundane or imaginary. To try to make dictionary definition, etc., whatever it may be. So that's 5 and 6, exaggeration, mundane or imaginary. 7 is sin. You know, 7 is sin. 7 is sin. Easy to remember. 8 is piety or austerities. To think that doing pious activities, doing good karma, to do things which are generally regarded as very good, that this is equivalent to the chanting the holy name. It is the chanting of the holy name is completely the Lord himself, non-different from him, completely spiritual. But piety and sin are two sides of the same coin of this mundane world's rising, falling, higher, lower qualities. So the chanting of the holy name is not to be considered the same as piety or austerities, penances, you know, this kind of thing. Okay, so that's 8. So 7 is sin, 8 is piety. 9, faithless, to tell the glories, chant the glories of the holy name or give the holy name to the faithless. And number 10, the one we all think, oh my goodness, mundane material attachment, to be too attached to mundane things. And I think when we discussed these, we did give an example. First of all, Guru Maharaj gives the example of rowing the boat with the rope still attached to the shore. So we're rowing all night through the darkness, and still we find, oh, I haven't gone anywhere when the light, a little bit of light comes, because the rope is still attached to the shore. So we must not be too attached to mundane things. And we did give an example that, you know, like if you're working in a corporation, you're working, maybe you've got a good job and you've got desk and employees and you've got so many people you're taking care of, the company car. But if you're promoted and given a post somewhere else, then all of those things you are currently responsible for taking care of, you can leave them immediately. Yes. Now that'll all be in somebody else's care. And now my duty is in another place. So we need to be like that about our material world. Okay, 10 offenses. And 4, namabhas. which are all essentially neglectful chanting of the holy name. Oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting to go through these today. Okay, but it's good for us. It's good for us. This is the foundation of our spiritual life, because as well as seeing so much during this last week about the importance of the Vaishnavas, every Vaishnava, the importance of Vaishnavas, but also the importance of chanting the holy name without offense. Everywhere this is coming up repeatedly, day after day, we're reading this. So it's not we're learning the offenses just so we've got something in our head. We're trying to do everything in a proper way. And when Guru Maharaj and Gurudev would give the Harinam initiations, they would specifically on most occasions mention the 4 Namabhas. The first one being indirect chanting in the sense of, I'm calling a person, for instance, but who has the name Narayan and not the Supreme Lord Narayan himself, as in the case of Ajamil, which Guru Maharaj's example he gives. The second one is to joke and chant. And we've all, or those of us who've been to India or not in India, in the Western world, people joke and chant when we're walking down the street. We do get people saying funny things to us. Of course, we can only expect it, and we're happy. We're happy for that, especially if in the funny things that they're saying is, oh, you Hare Krishnas or something. We think, oh, yes, okay. They're not making offense, but they're chanting the name of the Lord. So to joke and chant. So key words. The first one you can say indirect. Number 2, joke. Number 3, code word. To use the name as a code word. And an example is given of learning the mridangam, using Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai. Bimala, you coming to join us? And Veronica's phone. Veronica, remind me, Veronica, you have a devotee name?
Okay. You have a devotee name?
Vrindarani. Vrindarani.
Vrindaran. Excuse me, and just remind me, where are you? Because we're all over the place in America right now.
I'm in Logan, Logan, Utah.
Okay, Vrindarani in Logan.
Oh, Logan.
In Logan, okay, wonderful. So, right, so Utah, right, we met. Yes, excuse me, please excuse me.
Oh, it's fine. It's completely fine, Maharaj. It's...
When we meet people in their, like in their own environment, and we meet, oh yes, and then when we see in a different place, sometimes, oh, excuse me, I am a fallen soul. Anyway, we're just doing an unexpected quick recap of the 10 offenses and the 4 Namabhases. And so the third of the Namabhas is to joke and chant, and then the fourth of the Namabhas is indolently to chant. That simply means to wake up for instance, to wake up in the morning and say, oh, Hare Krishna. We're not really calling Radha and Krishna, we're just trying to wake up in the morning. So, in other words, Guru Maharaj points out that all of these, their nature is that it is inattentive chanting. So we want to avoid the 10 offenses, and we want to be attentive in our chanting. So we're actually chanting in serving mood, following the directions of our masters. And that means that also, what is the direction of our masters? The mood of service. Chanting is the mood of service. Meeting with the Vaishnavas in the mood of service. Reading the books in the mood of service. Guess what? Eating in the mood of service. Thank you, dear Lord, for giving us the grace of prasadam. And by the way, that, 2 things, the Sharirara Vijidal, this is, I feel, an important verse at some point to go through. Because really, we say it very easily before taking prasadam, as fast as possible sometimes before taking prasadam. But that Sharirara Vijidal, very substantial and helpful, that really the tongue is the most voracious of our senses. And the Lord has kindly given us prasadam in order that we can taste food, appreciate food. but in remembrance of the Lord that he has tasted it and thus become purified. All right. Here, this is not one of the wild animals of the north of Thailand, but just arrived. Let me just
more wild.
Just let me introduce you to one of your, well, depending on quite where you are, but West Coast Californian tribe. This is Kala Chan Prabhu, and he is famous, I suppose, or infamous. I'm not sure. No, he is famous as born devotee, one of the many family of Shruta Shrava Prabhu, who most of us know as Shruta Shrava Prabhu, who transformed into Vaishnava Maharaj or Vaishnava Maharaj. We did mention the V and the B are interchangeable during his later days. And 1 second.
Dhanavats, everybody.
Oh, yes, please introduce yourself.
So wonderful to see so many familiar faces. Abhi, Barchandra, nice to see Chinmoy.
So, Kala Chan Prabhu is here. We are at the, where are we? You can only see a black background because it's night. It's actually night turning to day. Oh, if I open the curtain, what can you see? Nothing. You can't see anything.
Pitambar is here.
Oh, Pitambar.
Pitambar Prabhu, Divya Shakti Devi Dasi. And look, Purushottam Prabhu is where we know Purushottam Prabhu, an outdoor devotee. Outdoor devotee. And we're still waiting to see whether it's going to be possible to join you, Purushottam Prabhu, for the
I'm
program.
Unmuted now.
Huh?
I'm unmuted now. I'm in Salt Lake City, of course. I'm with Haridas. We're outside.
Yes, we saw you in the car with Haridas Prabhu and the Gopals.
Yeah, it's always fun.
I was just saying, we're seeing you in your, where we are familiar with you, in the outside, open airs.
Yeah.
Purushottam is very much an outdoor person, and he's arranging, before of all this virus and everything, like a retreat, a camping outdoor program in the countryside. And what date is it? June?
June 26th through the 28th.
26th to 28th. So
yeah.
Some of us, it looks like, may not be able to go there just because of the situation. I don't know whether it still takes place, but you see one of the many activities taking place to bring devotees together. And Purushottam, just when you have the devotees, is it taking place? You'll go there and continue as normal?
I hope so. It's been weighing on my mind. I'm not sure what the recreation site itself is going to do, but I'm planning on looking into that and getting some kind of an answer. I for one definitely plan on still going. So if anybody who wants to go, as long as the campsite's open, it will be an event.
All right, I shall go by mind, because I've already gone by mind, because with Purushottam Prabhu, we were planning out some treks and some routes, and we had a good finale for the last day. So if any of you wish to go, there are a planned future of kind association, prasadam, and all good things with the devotees in Utah. As you heard, from 26th of June, contact to Purushottam Prabhu if you are able or wish to attend. All right, so the clock is ticking. I've got Kala Chan Prabhu here, and he's probably come to get me, you see, because I'm not at Mangalati. But Mangalati here at the farm consists of, at the moment, we had 2 more. So anyway, just whoever is here, we have Mangalati. And we have Mangalati in the rice fields on a yoga platform and literally facing the sun. So we chant Gayatri at the right time. And those of you who are initiated into Gayatri, the right time is as the daylight comes, the stars are disappearing, but before the sun comes up. That early time is the time for chanting Gayatri. we try to chant Samsara Davanala Lida Loka. This verse, this song we're coming back to. At the time when Vishwanath Chakravarti says it's a good time to chant, there in the very end, in our songbook, we've got the 8 Ashtakam to Guru, Gurva Ashtakam. We've got the 8 verses. At the end, we've got the verse that says, what's the first word?
Srimad Guru
Rashtakam etat uchai brahme mohote patati prayatnat yastena brindavana nata shakshat. So this verse is telling us that if one chants this regularly during the Brahma Muhurta, he's sure to have a very good result. I don't quite remember what the result was.
Fully liberated.
Oh, fully liberated. So anyhow, to chant in the Brahma Muhurta. So we try here at the farm, the Govinda farm, which is the retreat kind of leg of it, and it's very, there's no neighbors. You can't disturb any neighbors by playing cartels and playing the mridanga. Even with Kala Chandra's playing mridanga, which is actually, I can say, it's a reminder of some of the expressions in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where the sound of the mridanga, the kartal, the conch, the singing, went to the far distance, to the edge of the universe, like this. So Kala's mridanga player is a little like his father's mridanga player, Shruta Shavaprut playing the mridanga, like very strong. Balaram, sometimes it's told the mridanga is like Balaram, and like very strong and loud. So we have Kala Chandraprabhu here with us. And I mentioned to him that, oh, today I won't be Mangalati because I'll be talking with you about the basics, back to basics. And he said, oh, I may come. I don't know why he wasn't so sure.
Something about the time, I think.
So I said, well, Kala Chandraprabhu, if you do come, I can ask you something for the benefit of the devotees in the theme of back to basics. And that is that you are a devotee, born in a devotee family, but everybody's got, our enthusiastic days, our days when we don't want to attend, or whatever it is, we don't want to chant our japa. It's natural. We're sometimes enthusiastic, sometimes unenthusiastic, whatever it may be. Kala Chandra's always doing seva. Okay, just have to close. You have to close his ears here. But he's a strong servitor and very much appreciated wherever he is. And we have our representations there coming from the SoCal Seva Ashram. And just 2 evenings ago, Janardhan Maharaj made it clear how missed he is in SoCal because he's such a good servitor. Oh, can you hear that animal? Listen.
He disagrees with what you said, Maharaj.
Can you hear that animal going, uh-oh, uh-oh? Maybe not, I do not know. Anyway, this is one of the dragons downstairs here. Or maybe they do come upstairs too. Haribol, we're looking out of the door to see whether we can show him to you. Anyway, without further ado, Kala Chandraprabhu, please give us the basic things that you find is practical in your devotional service to keep you in seva, in the seva mood.
Thank you, Maharaj. Well, since this is a back to Bhakti basics course. It's a bit of a tongue twister. I was trying to think of something kind of along this theme that Maharaj had mentioned last night. And one thing that kept coming to mind was something that that Paramananda reminded me of recently, and that Srila Govinda Maharaj said to him, which was try to find someone. It doesn't have to be a great senior Vaishnava, a sannyas, someone that gives you some inspiration to do service, and do whatever you can to stay around that person. Try to be in their association, try to be friends with them. And it doesn't always come from the most likely places like sannyasis or these kinds of people. It can be from just a friend. one thing that's very important in our spiritual life is to have friends. This is not a journey or a life that we want to live alone. So sometimes just having a buddy, someone to do service with, who you share same interests, who you share same feelings, same kind of likes and dislikes even. And these things can kind of help you keep some motivation. It's like Mara said, it's easy to have a downtime or to not have any inspiration or motivation or any kind of energy for these things. But really, if you have someone to pick you up, in a sense, it can kind of keep you motivated and keep you energized. And you will get that feeling. But something Madhusudan Maharaj always says here is just, and of course, Krishna Priya, she likes to say, have no condition. So we try to tell the devotees some things here. And she says, have no conditions to it. Whatever you're asked to do, just do it. Don't think about it. Don't try too hard. Just if it's your senior devotees, if it's people who are looking after you spiritually, just trust that they have your best intentions and just try to fully do it with your full heart, with your full energy. And naturally some good reaction will come and you'll get some motivation from this. You'll get some awakening, if that's a word, the right word for this, but some kind of a good feeling will come from it, and it'll grow if you continue to do these things and you don't try to have that instantly. You don't try to get it too quickly, too slowly. It's, it's not a race in our spiritual life. It's some things that take time. But I guess if there was one little thing, it would be that, to try to associate with people that give you some good spiritual feelings, some good spiritual wishes, some good motivation, and stay around them. Do whatever you can to stay around them, to stay next to them, even if it's through these Zoom classes. As Maharaj has been speaking so much about these. Every day he's traveling to a different part of the world. And we can take advantage of whatever situation we're in, even if it's through this coronavirus thing that's happening, where we're all kind of locked in our whatever place we're in. We can find some way to get some inspiration and to keep ourselves enlivened and energized to continue to do our service. So I guess simply that would be my answer to your question, Maharaj.
Jai. Well, I'm sitting here right beside, oh look, now you can see the daylight coming. Now you can see the daylight coming behind us. Okay, so hearing this, it came in my mind something which, maybe most of you know, that my book of the moment, always we've got a book of the moment, and every book of our books in our channel of reading Gurudev, Guru Maharaj Prabhupada, every book is the best book. I have to say that first, but my book of the moment is Revealed Truth. And while Kala Chan Prabhu was saying about this, then it came in my mind that there is one part here, and I just found it while he was talking, and it is a devotee asking to Gurudev. So Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj, and the devotee is asking to Gurudev, Gurudev, what do you expect from me as your disciple? Now, really, this is a super question to have. And we've heard this, by the way, different times, to Gurudev and to Guru Maharaj. Now, on this occasion, then I'll read for you what Gurudev says, because really, this is the basis. What does our Gurudev, and what does Gurudev Govinda Maharaj, what is he expecting from the disciple? What a proper question, if you like. Devotee, Gurudev, what do you expect from me as your disciple? Srila Govinda Maharaj. As possible by you, always chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without offense. Have we heard that somewhere before? Okay, and try to serve Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandhavika Giridhari, the deities installed by Guru Maharaj at that time, where in Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, Gurudev giving this emphasis. So as possible by you, always chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without offense, and try to serve Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandhavika Giridhari. If you have the opportunity to serve them, do not waste that opportunity. Always, okay, that's full stop. Gurudev speaking still. Always remember your spiritual life by practicing the 9 forms of Bhakti Yoga given to us in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, do I ask how many of you can say the verse? Shravanam, I'll give you a clue. The first word is Shravanam.
Sarvaranam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Bandam, Panda, Padasevanam, Archanam, Dasya. I suppose I forget one, Maharaj.
Vandanam, Archanam.
Archanam, Bandanam, Padasevanam.
Dasyam.
Dasyam.
Almost there. Good. A good attempt. Very good. And so it is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. And for those of you who are a little Navadip Dham conscious about the 9 islands of Navadip, this in this order relate to the 9 islands of Navadip in order, ending up in Antadip, which is the central island of Atma Nivedanam, full self-surrender. And I can ask, and maybe Kelly Kadambanana knows, and maybe Divya Shakti knows. Where's Divya Shakti? She's hiding somewhere there. Who knows the 9 islands of Navadip, or 9 islands of Navadip? Who can say the 9 islands in order? Nobody. Okay. The 9 islands of Navadip. And sometimes I get a couple of them back to front. But in relating to Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, the order which is given in this verse, the 9 islands are Simantadip, Godrumadip, Madhyadip, Koladip, Ritudip, Janudip, Modadrumadip, Rudradip, and Antadip. So I've been on a back to basics course before, so I have an advantage. But it is nice to remember them when we are kind of thinking of Navadip. Okay, anyhow, let's not get more sidetracked than I do. So Gurudev is saying, always remember your spiritual life by practicing the 9 forms of Bhakti Yoga given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. And then Gurudev speaking. Among these, the process of Shravan Kirtan is best. Hear from Guru Vaishnava and chant the glories of Guru Vaishnava, the Lord, and the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Serve your Gurudev and your Shiksha Gurus, the Vaishnavas around you. If you proceed in that way, you must be benefited. Shravan Kirtana Jale Koraye Seichana in Madhya Lila. Shravan Kirtan is the association of the devotees. Shravan Kirtan in the association of devotees will best nourish us. If we hear and chant the Lord's glories in the association of the sadhus, the illusory environment will not be able to attack us. But we must hear from a proper Vaishnava and chant without making Vaishnava aparad. I promise you, I did not choose this in the line of, accidentally, which it was, going through the 10 offenses again this morning. But these things happen. Krishna, we can say Krishna, he wants that we will, hear this stress. But you can say also, many places when we open the book, it's coming back and we're reading about avoiding the offense to the Vaishnava, avoiding the offense to the 10 offenses to the holy name, keeping association, appreciating the Vaishnavas. So, In a way, it's not a coincidence, though it is a coincidence, actually. But we must hear from a proper Vaishnava and chant without making Vaishnava aparad. If we proceed in that way with good association, you all, look how good association you are. The result of our practice will increase 10 times more, or maybe 100 times more. Like this. Anyway, I won't read a long way, but it just, when Kala Prabhu was replying in such a way and saying about how to keep enthusiasm with good friends, friends who maybe world famous, maybe a local friend, maybe anything, but a friend who is a good devotee, somebody who we can be with, as we said at the beginning. All devotees are our friends. All devotees, we can talk about Mahaprabhu, Nityananda. We can talk about these things without getting strange looks. Some people even saying, "Oh, do you? So you believe in God? Oh, you believe in reincarnation? Oh, you believe?" I mean, all sorts of things which just like knock the wind out of, we're talking something and then, "Oh no, what do you mean? Do you believe in God? Or do you believe in reincarnation? Do you believe in karma? Oh, so you believe in karma, do you? You're one of those people." Well. And in India, all my time in India, which you can say was considerable, nobody ever asked me, "Oh, so you believe in reincarnation?" Nobody ever asked me, "Oh, you believe in karma?" Never once. And you come to the Western world and then you start getting like these things, which are the very, if you want to say, but basics, really, these are some of the basic things. We're not the body. But we've got so used to hearing about it, we take it for granted. And then if I think about myself at 17, 18 years old, then, unlike Karna Chand, we who've come from, the other world, we didn't necessarily know about reincarnation, karma. Yeah, there's some kind of hazy idea. So then it kind of gives us a bit of a slap on the face. Yes, remember where we've come from. So we do have to remember where we've come from. And as at the beginning of every program, as far as possible, we're always kind of remembering, trying to remind ourselves, nothing we've got is ours. Everything is the Vaishnavas. Without Srila Prabhupada, Srila Saraswati Thakur, without the presentation of the devotees, where would we have any of us be in the Western world? Their grace, their distribution, their generosity, in service to their Guru, in service to Rupa and Mahaprabhu, has made available this, not just philosophical understanding, but at least I think we do understand. I mean, some basic things like karma and reincarnation, and then the other things built on the top. Anyway, unbelievably, I mean, time really does run by. I'll say now, though, next time that we meet, we'll go through let's say now, let us all learn as a little bit of homework. Let us all learn the 10 offenses to the holy name. And you'll get it from Srimad Bhagavatam 7, 5, Canto 7, Chapter 5, verses 23 and 24. Srimad Bhagavatam. Purushottam Das, Kala Chandra. Chanda. Your name Chand, no? Or Chandra?
Chandji.
Chand, in the he's even got it in his passport. Chandji. Ji means dear.
Which the Indians never seem to fail to point out in my passport, India.
That'll amuse the Indians to a great extent, because normally you'll say to somebody in India, especially the Hindi-speaking side, they tend to add G to the end of somebody's name, or just to even say, "Oh, G, oi G," like dear one. So normally, like you don't say, "Oh, my name is such and such a Prabhu." Say, "Oh, my name is such and such Das," like it, and then somebody may call you Prabhu. So anyway, If something makes the Vaishnavas happy, it's auspicious, okay? So I expect Gurudev had a bit of a chuckle too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He gave the name.
So anyway, Kala Chand, without the R-A, but with a G. Excuse me for missing the G part when I introduced him. And he said, but great to tap into some devotee Sangha.
Jai.
Yes, Purushottam Prabhu, appreciate it. And Purushottam Prabhu, if you ever want some good walking and good cycling in Thailand, oh, did you disappear? Oh, Purushottam Prabhu disappeared from my screen. Anyway, in Thailand, around the temple and around the farm, good walking and good cycling, good everything, yeah. Really, really good cycling. You can have severe mountain cycling, severe mountain cycling, we can tell you, and you can have gentle off-road cycling, and you can have road cycling, all things, as well as the walks. It is like a good place for outdoor people to remember Krishna and nature, because Krishna does a pretty good job with making nature wonderful. Okay, dear devotees, Srimad Bhagavatam, why I noticed the chat is because I'll put in here, Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.25. 23. Bhagavatam 7.5.23.24, is it?
23, yeah. 23, 24.
7.5.23. 24, it's saying here. And there you'll get Shravanam Kirtan Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. And I'll tell you the page number that I read from this week. It's page 318. Page 318 of Revealed Truth. So all of these things are available online. You're all online. I know the proof of the pudding is in the eating. You're all with us. So the Srimad Bhagavatam, everybody I think knows vedabase.io. You will get everything there. You'll see there. And the Revealed Truth is on scsmat.com. Just follow the link on the very left column that says books. Books and ebooks, follow that. Then next one, go to PDF books, or maybe EPUB books is there too, I'm not sure. But there you can get the book. And please do have a library on your own phone and everywhere. On our little phones, we have a library. So when we're out, and, there you are. Now you can hear what I'm listening to. By accident, I pressed that. That was Chaitanya Bhagavat, by the way, which is wonderful. So anyway, but do keep a library on your phones and on your tablets and whatever it may be, because not always you're with the internet. And like we go into the mountains, we go with the devotees. Again, as Kala Chand's saying, sometimes it's not so much what we do, it's who we are with. And so when we're out, then we take some cloth to sit on, and then we can hear, we can read, we can chant. So, do keep these things on your phone. And we all know, for many people, probably most people, the phone is like the dearest thing. If somebody robs you in the street, you'll give them your wallet, but you won't give them your phone. So, and who told me that first of all? Abhinava Sundar Prabhu with a cap in Australia. And it's kind of inconceivable. But then now, you kind of think, oh yes, we understand. So much is in these phones. But have just the devotional things there and make our life successful. Anyway, this week we didn't get on to actually sort of learning something. But really, it's Vaishnavas, devotees, you, each other. This is our life and soul. And just as we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day, just as we do so many things every day, it is very good to remind ourselves. So I don't really make any apology that we've again come to the 10 offenses, the four namabases. But we will come on next week. Let's come on next week to the 9 processes of devotional service and some other shorter things. 9 processes, only 9 things to remember. And Okay, you can learn the 9 islands too. No, do the 9 processes of devotional service too. Those who go to Navadip and are aware of the place, it is nice to remember the islands because, you know, we go on parikrama, we've been to these places and it is very sweet. But the 2 things are kind of essential. Antadeep, Mayapur, the center, that is Atmanivedanam, full self-giving. And Koladeep, our mat, Chaitanya Saraswat mat, where what Guru Maharaj established, the place where Mahaprabhu's golden volcano has erupted and given forth everything in this modern age from Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. There, that land is Pada Sevanam, service. It's the special quality of that place is seva. So we are connected there. We are connected with these things. It's very much at home subject matters. So this week, Vaishnava is all important and we can remind each other. And I'm very pleased that we're able to have a chance to be together. And Purushottam Prabhu is out in the countryside, but he maybe lost his signal, I don't know. But he is arranging a program there up like an hour out of Salt Lake City. And we are planning to go, but now Krishna has other plans, quite likely, because the world looks different. So man proposes, God disposes. We have to remember this important English shloka. And by the way, we can remember something else from Guru Maharaj's time. We were involved with making the invitations from Guru Maharaj's time and through all of Srila Gurudev's time, invitations for Gaurapanima, Janmastami, different festivals that take, of course, Vyasa Pujas, etc., different festivals at the mat. And we would, the early days, we would print them. And one of the seva in Navadip was preparing them, printing them, proofreading them on the letterpress, then getting the envelopes, typing addresses for the devotees all over the world, etc. But those invitations, if any of you have a historic invitation at home there, you'll see written across the bottom, it is not me who put it there, it's Gurudev who put it there. The program may change by the will of Providence, capital W and capital P, not small, the will of Providence. And the will of Providence just happens to be a teenage cowherd mischievous boy called Krishna. Okay, so please, we are on Zoom. Please, if any of you have a contribution or a question for Kala Chand, how old are you? 34.
30, how old am I? 35.
35. Ask him, I'll ask him questions if you don't, but here's Kala Chand. Make use of him in devotional sense. Ask him a question. He's been around a long time. He's seen a lot. He's been with Gurudev since he was a baby. So take advantage of good association. Just you'll have to unmute your microphone and I'll try and be quiet and let you speak.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
So Koladweep is Padasevanam, and Padasevanam is basically meaning service to the lotus feet of the Lord. Correct?
Kala Chandra,
is that the question?
Well, I'm just making sure that's right. But then, wouldn't almost every one of those devotional practices be? I mean, wouldn't Shravana and Kirtanam also be considered Padasevanam?
I'm going to slowly turn up the phone over here. Someone who spent 30 years in the mat can give you the exact answer.
We can get the impression from Gurudev. Now, I'm just saying this, get the impression from Gurudev. The impression I got from Gurudev is Padasevanam is actually doing things, you can say physically, though we know everything is transformed spiritually. But service, worship, engaging service to the lotus feet of Krishna, and then we know through the lotus feet of Guru, through the Vaishnavas, is actually doing something. And Gurudev does have quite a famous, I think, famous expression that Atma Nivedanam and all these expressions of surrender are not just to surrender and lie down, oh, I'm surrendered, but surrender and serve. And Guru Maharaj saying, service, service, service. Service is life-giving, not life-taking. And Gurudev was always in favor. Guru Maharaj too, we also know, was always in favor of practically doing something. And our chanting time, our bhajan time, it is all regulated. It's not, we were never encouraged to sit and chant all day long, to read books all day long. We have the morning program for that. We have an evening program for this. And stress given to actively doing something. So I am not the encyclopedia of what is the technicalities, but yes, everything is service. And that service is being done under the guidance of our masters. And Pada Sevanam in particular is the doing something practical in the service that's being required from them, which does include Shravanam Kirtanam. Yes, all the elements of this. But this is not that we are, a lot of it is, prove that you are in a Dasyam relation or a Sakyam relationship or like this. Prove it. But if you're doing something, cleaning out the drain, painting the wall, putting up the decorations on Gurudev's veranda, cooking for Gurudev, cooking for the devotees, cleaning up the prasadam hall, doing these things, we can actually see you're doing that. Those with great vision, they may be able to see that others are doing that, fully dedicated in their mind. But we'll go for Pada Sevanam as being, especially in relation to Koladeep, as being a place of practical doing activity in service. Okay, I have a question for Kalachan Prabhu, because actually our time is up, and we also, your time is up, our time is up, we know. But just very quickly, you had association with Gurudev from a young age. Tell us one thing that probably none of us know, but you know in relation to Gurudev.
There's no doubt nothing that I know that you do not know, Maharaj.
Oh yes, you've been with him in places we've not been. Just share something you experienced.
Well, seeing everybody from SoCal, my memories of Gurudev were always in SoCal. Were always when he came for the festivals. And I guess we were thinking about this the other day, how amazing it was when he came to the West on his world tours. One thing that was kind of, in the moment, you don't really notice, but looking back on was a bit interesting to see, was how captivating he was for even the non-devotees and the people with no idea of Krishna consciousness, of who we are, what we're doing. When he would arrive at the airport, like in San Francisco, it was like a huge event. It would be like 100 people packed into the San Francisco airport, the days when you could walk all the way up to the gate practically. And you'd see, non-Westerners come out, and there'd be people singing and dancing and crying and laughing, and just wondering what is going on. And then you see this personality come behind them, and sometimes someone will be walking right in front of Gurudev and not knowing what's going on, and then you see this huge procession waiting for them, and they're kind of like taken back. And just the way he would smile, he could smile and just light up a room. And like Madhusudan Maharaj was saying, the way he could handle all the different personalities, it's no joke that his veranda was always quite an entertaining and lively place, to say the least. And we've been able to hear some of his recordings here of his classes with Srila Janardhan Maharaj and Srila Siddhanti Maharaj, and the way he could very harmoniously and obviously easily for him manage all these personalities in such a very happy way and homogeneous way, not a mean way, never a very strict way. Although he, for good reason, had to be strict with us. We were very foolish. But really, these are some of my great memories with him, was coming to Soquel, the way the devotees there would prepare the temple for him, his scooter that he would ride around and everybody would be chasing him on it. He would try to race up the hills with Janardha Maharaj and Asipriya and everybody running after him. Bharat Chandra was there, Chinmoy was there. It was really a wonderful, wonderful time. Now they have the path that goes all the way up to, what is it? Via Govinda. Via Govinda, yeah, to the top of the hill where you can see the ocean. And even in India, he was talking about this still. So this was really a wonderful place that he really loved. In the class we were just listening to, he was mentioning how you could see the ocean, you could smell the salt in the air, how auspicious that is. So this is a really wonderful memory and a great part of the history of our ashram there, of Soquel. The fact that we had such great time with him. We had so many months where he stayed continuously there. Really, it was really a wonderful time. A very special place. We're very lucky to have it.
And Kalachand Prabhu, I've heard rumors that Gurudev used to sneak out to your house.
He did sneak out to our house. Quite literally snuck out to the house because we would use, sometimes it was before the cell phone era, so we would not really know that he was coming to the house when we were there. And anybody who knows us back then, our house was usually quite a chaotic scene. There was between the 8 children there, plus 3 or 4 people visiting from somewhere, plus the cousins or relatives or someone. And it was not a big house. It was a small house. We'd have like 15 people living there and a lot of kids. And we were quite a handful, pretty crazy kids. So we would get a call usually like 5 minutes before he's going to arrive. And we'd just be collecting everything from the floors and just throwing it all into like one room in the back. Would just be like loaded with all the junk. And we're just going, please, I hope he doesn't want to open that room. Please don't want to go in that room because it's just going to, everything's going to fall out of the door when you open it. It's just going to be like a nightmare. But he came over, he loved the dog. He'd seen, we had that golden retriever. We had a K2 there, which he liked hearing about. And he was very much part of the Soquel community, part of the Soquel life. He was very, Bharat Chandra, so many times he came to his father's house, Rishabdev's house in San Jose in the very early days. It was a very big part of the mission. Yeah, it was a very, very fun time.
I actually just drove by that house recently. The first world tour, he stayed at my parents' house in San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't own that house anymore, obviously, but yes, just the other day I was driving in this neighborhood and decided to look at this house again. I have fond memories of that world tour as well.
Yeah.
And Gurudev had fond memories of that world tour and staying in your house. And he's saying how the house was full with devotees and they gave your parents and Rishabdev Prabhu gave their room to Gurudev and looked after him. And Gurudev, okay, thank you very much. But as Gurudev does, he gets up early in the morning and he came out of the room. He thought, oh, I'll walk around. And right there in the corridor on the floor, Rishabdev Prabhu was sleeping just on the floor with a blanket or something. And Gurudev was astonished. He said, how selfless the devotees in the West are. They're giving me the room. I'm there with my servitor, and he, the owner of the house and everything else, he's sleeping in the corridor, and the house was full of devotees. So Gurudev himself was so happy. By the way,
I remember they knew Gurudev liked to sleep on a firm bed, and so they prepared the bed. They found the firmest bed they possibly could. They made a platform with a futon. And they found the absolute firmest futon they could. And they found out that was still too soft for him. He didn't tell them, but what he had been doing is he'd been taking a rug and laying it on the carpet and laying on the floor. And that was just right.
Right, he would say he would go to places and he would use the duvet. He'd say, oh, I'll go there. And then when they've all left, I close the door and then I take the duvet, I put it on the floor and I sleep on that because it just gave enough kind of softness. He liked that hard nature, yeah. And by the way, various things I don't exactly remember recently, at least. I don't actually remember seeing a video from Rishabdev Prabhu's home, but by the grace of Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, who's here with us, and other devotees, but Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, he's been making many videos available right there doing the seva, and they're all there in SoCal. And we are watching those. We're watching these and grateful for the preparation of these videos, etc. And many more to come. And so we get glimpses from California, from London, the different classes which are taking place. And here you can get a glimpse outside. The sun has risen. This is outside the window here. Behind us, that's why we are silhouetted now, because the day has come. And on this side, I don't know if you can see outside there, that's rice fields there.
And is your door still singing, Maharaj?
It's not. It's not. Would you like to open the door fully?
Yeah.
It's not singing. That was quite mystic. It'll give a hint of a song sometimes. These are very old doors. And I think it was probably, it hadn't been used for a while and the hinge was probably a little rusty. And so that gave a little friction, which kind of vibrated through the door. Anyway, it was very sweet. All right, dear devotees, the world goes on and we're happy to have, and why is Kala Chand Prabhu here? He's here
Nobody knows.
Because he's a hard servitor. And so he serves at the temple, and we've come to the farm here, and he's doing much hard work. Pada Sevanam, physical, visible seva here, and there's much to do at the farm, of course, and beautiful things, and so many mangoes, many things we can say about here. There is a tree here. This season, they've picked mangoes from the same tree 7 times. Empty the tree giving so many mangoes again, 7 times, and again it is full. So now they're again going to, and then, I mean, I've never heard of that kind of production from a tree, and they're such tasty mangoes. And then we really feel how the trees are conscious and how they're so happy that their fruits are being taken. And we have this experience from being with Gurudev too.
And that was something he would always say. He pointed out on several occasions in our house in SoCal, we had a lemon tree that we were not picking the fruit. It was full of lemons, and he was very unhappy that there was a tree full of fruit in our house. That he said, the tree is doing so much work to give you this fruit and you are not taking it. This is not good. He really, like, he didn't express it vocally, but you could tell the couple of looks he gave to my father. He was, just next day that tree was empty.
Gurudev could speak just with his eyes, for sure. With affection, he can also, with chastisement, speak with his eyes. Some devotees know. Anyway, just, you know, as public as we are, Chinmoy Dev Prabhu giving public recognition and encouragement, please. Those videos are very important. Devotees do watch them. We watch them. We watch them in public and help devotees understand. Sometimes they don't know Gurudev's expression, etc. And we are playing the audios regularly, audios, I mean, for the devotees as well as for ourselves, of course, but as well as for the non-devotee myself, for the devotees, we are playing them and trying to help them to hear Gurudev's intonation, etc. And so it's very much appreciated seva. All right, any quick question from anybody? Yes, Jonty, just unmute yourself.
Dandavats Maharaj, Dandavats Prabhu. I just wanted to ask you, you were describing about how Gurudev, how there's all this audio of Gurudev's classes. Something I think you instructed me to do, Maharaj, was to listen to Gurudev's classes on absolute sweetness.
Oh yes.
And but I've been listening to them quite a bit. But something it's been kind of disturbing me is sometimes the audio is very hard to hear, and I only hear kind of glimpses of what Gurudev's saying, and I'm not sure like what he's saying 100%. So what would you, I guess what would you recommend would be the best way to almost get around that, but to
okay. So Jonty, what I will do, and I'll make a note of it with notebook and pencil. I'll make a note of it, and maybe Chinmoy Prabhu can help. There are some classes which are audio and which are transcribed, and especially at the beginning, that will be helpful for you to be able to catch Gurudev's words. And he also does use his own way of expressing things. And even just a very simple thing. Or Gurudev may say that somebody has, their devotion, they have too much devotion. So literally, I've had emails and letters in the past, not one. Now, why did Gurudev say that such and such devotion was too much? You know, they're thinking, because our usage in the West is, it means, it's excessive. It should not be that much. There's something wrong like that. But Gurudev is using too much devotion in the sense of very, very much. And I can very appreciate it, like so much devotion this devotee has. So it's true, we do need to, as far as possible, hear the classes, etc., with devotees, to be with others. But when it's not possible, then the transcript will help you catch at least the words and hopefully some of the expressions. And if there is something which actually, does trouble you in some way, do ask. You have my email or my internet, email. You got my email and maybe Skype. I'm not sure if you have, but you're welcome to have. But Chinmoy Prabhu, could you do that?
Well, I was just going to say, you can always contact Absolute Sweetness, Jamuna Priya, and if you have a specific audio in mind, she can see if she has that transcript and send it to you. I know she has transcripts on several or many of those videos or audios, but I'm not sure if she has transcripts for all of them.
Or maybe we can ask her for those transcripts, and then we could send like a bunch of those transcripts to you, Jonty, and then you can see, and maybe to others.
Yes, if you have like actual dates, that would be most helpful for her.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you, Maharaj. That would be really good. Thank you. Yeah.
And I'm happy that you're hearing. We should not take for granted this opportunity that we have to hear Gurudev 40 or 30 years later, Guru Maharaj 40 years later. It is really unheard of. Okay. Anyway, it's unheard of, except by actual yogis. For forever, the only people who could do such a thing would be actual yogis. So please don't take for granted just because, there are so many, there are so many. Yes, I think I heard that. Please try to daily have a sadhana. What is sadhana? It's giving us our spiritual food of listening. And proof of the pudding, just here, by accident, we touched the thing. But we listen in the morning to something, listen in the afternoon to something. We have a morning program, we have an evening program. We try to keep some momentum so that we're always surrounded as much as possible by hearing, remembering, chanting, doing something, being active, following their guidance. So, Jonty, I'm happy to hear you're listening to these.
And Maharaj, I was at work the other day, Rupanuga will be happy to know, and I was packing herbs, and I was listening to Gurudev, and then for some reason, my phone kept playing the same sort of lecture or whatever it was over and over again, and I was kind of like, I just heard this, an hour ago or something, but each time it went through, I just picked up different things, and I thought, you're not able to concentrate fully. So I was really appreciating listening to the thing over and over again, because there's so much you can pick up the second and third and fourth hearing.
I fully agree. I put mine on a loop, and we're very happy. We listen to the same things. Many things we see and we read. We think this is all you need. Mm-hmm. This is all you need. All you need is love. Krishna Prema love. All right, so now we have a little homework, the 9 processes of devotional service, and let us come back next time and let us meet again knowing these and knowing fluently the 10 offenses, the 4 namabhas, because you see, by coincidence again, but really it's coming up, this theme just in the ether this last week or so much emphasis on the Vaishnavas and the being offenseless to Vaishnavas, offenseless to the holy name, the opposite, appreciating every Vaishnava, not only old Vaishnavas, senior Vaishnavas, or whatever it may be, but as Kalachandra was saying, every Vaishnava, and find our friends. Our friends are the devotees, and we have to deal with the outside world as we have to deal with it, but as much as the minimum as possible, and keep as much as possible the association of the Vaishnavas. All right. All glories to our wonderful, indispensable, generous Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. All glories to our similarly wonderful, indispensable, and everything Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. And to the savior of the whole Western world to give us the whole introduction and more, to give us so many scriptures which we read every day, Chaitanya Charitamrita of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. And of course, to whom they are all bringing us, representing, not only representing, but continuing the heart-to-heart channel. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai, and our Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki jai. And all of our present generation of guardians and connectors to the upper world. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Brinda ki jai. And Jai Shri Kalachand Prabhu ki jai, and all the assembled devotees, well, he's also a devotee, as well as all the other assembled devotees and unassembled devotees ki jai. And we're happy to be with you. And if you take, okay, so I can leave from here. If you do wish to chat amongst yourselves, etc., or have questions for each other, please do. We are going to go and continue because here is the morning program, the morning activities are taking place. But please do be amongst yourselves happily too if you wish. Vancha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Jai Shri Bhakti Ranjama.
Hare Krishna.